My wife became a doctor and celebrated by filing for divorce the same day. I signed without argument and vanished completely. 8 years. That's how long I spent building someone else's dream while mine collected dust in the corner. 8 years of working double shifts just to pay for her medical school tuition. 8 years of frozen dinners because she was always studying. 8 years of canceled vacations because she needed to focus on exams. 8 years of hearing the same promise. Once I graduate, everything will be different. Her graduation ceremony was on a Thursday in May. I requested the day off work just to be there. Bought a new shirt, too. After all, this was supposed to be our moment, our achievement, our future finally beginning. I sat in that packed auditorium, watching her walk across the stage. When they called her name, I stood up and clapped harder than anyone else. 8 years of sacrifice finally paying off. Or so I thought. The ceremony ended around noon. Families were celebrating, taking pictures, making dinner plans. I waited by the car while she posed with her classmates. Her diploma clutched in her hands like a golden ticket. When she finally walked over, I expected a hug, a kiss, maybe even a thank you. Instead, she handed me a manila envelope. "What's this?" I asked. "Divorce papers," she said, like she was discussing the weather. I stared at her. She wasn't joking. There was no emotion in her eyes, no hesitation in her voice. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. This was planned. "Are you serious right now?" I asked. "Dead serious? Look, I don't need you anymore. I have my degree, I have job offers, I have a future. You were helpful during school, but that chapter is over. Helpful. 8 years of my life reduced to one word. So what was I then, some kind of financial aid program?" She shrugged. "You knew what you were signing up for. I was clear about my priorities from day one. Medical school came first. Now I'm a doctor, and I want to start fresh. No dead weight, dead weight." That's what 8 years of marriage meant to her. Her colleagues began to gather around us, probably wondering what was going on. They all knew me, the husband who worked overtime to pay their friend's tuition. I opened the envelope. Everything was already filled out. She divided the assets, claimed the car, even listed the apartment as hers. I was left with the bare minimum. "You've really thought this through, haven't you?" I asked. "I'm not stupid. I know what I want," she said. So I pulled a pen from my jacket and signed every page. Right there, in the parking lot. When I handed the papers back, I said, "Congratulations on your graduation and your divorce." Her mouth dropped open. She expected anger, maybe tears. What she got instead was calm, efficient cooperation. "Wait, that's it? You're not going to fight this?" she asked. "Why would I fight for someone who just called me dead weight?" I walked away. No yelling, no drama, no scene, just silence, and the sound of my footsteps as I left her life for good. 3 days later, I was gone. Not just from the apartment, from the entire state. While she was expecting me to come crawling back, I was executing the most thorough disappearing act of my life. You see, my wife never paid attention to finances. She had no idea what I actually controlled. She thought she was getting the apartment because she'd be making doctor money. What she didn't know was that the lease was in my name, and I'd been paying rent from my account for the past 2 years. I closed all our joint accounts, moved my half elsewhere, canceled utilities, phone, even Netflix. By Saturday morning, I was gone. Destination, Portland, Oregon. A clean slate in a city where nobody knew my story. I found a simple one-bedroom apartment. No skyline view, just a parking lot. But it was mine. Completely mine. Within a week, I landed a new job. Construction management for a mid-size firm. Solid pay, reasonable hours. No one asked about my past. Meanwhile, back in her fresh start, reality was setting in. When she tried to pay rent, the landlord reminded her that being a doctor isn't legal tender. 3 days later, the electricity went out. Then the internet. That's when she realized. I hadn't been dead weight. I'd been the foundation. The texts started first. "We need to talk. This is ridiculous. You can't just disappear." I deleted each one. Then came the calls. Dozens per day. Ignored every single one. By the second month, she was panicking. Her residency salary barely covered the bills, and her 6-figure debt was now hers alone. By month 3, she was desperate, calling my old jobs, even showing up at offices. But I was long gone, and for the first time in years, I was free. Portland suited me. The people minded their own business. I joined a hiking group, took evening classes, even started dating again. The woman I met at a bookstore cafe was everything my ex-wife wasn't. Independent, kind, grounded. When I told her I was divorced, she simply said, "Good for you," for knowing when to walk away. No judgment. No drama. Just peace. Months passed. Then years. I built a career, a circle of friends, a new home, and while my ex was struggling through 80-hour work weeks, taking public transport and drowning in debt, I was thriving, promoted to senior project manager, bought a small house, found balance, happiness, love. 3 years after the divorce, I was engaged. That's when she found me. She'd apparently hired a private investigator, abused medical databases to track where I worked. And one morning, my phone started blowing up. Dozens of missed calls and messages. I made a mistake. I want to fix it. Please call me back. I didn't. 2 weeks later, she was sitting in my company's lobby, claiming there was a family emergency. I told the receptionist to say I was out of state. Then came the social media posts. Looking for my husband. Please help me reconnect. She even found my address, parked outside my house, banging on my door, crying, begging. So I called the police, calmly. They escorted her away. Later that night, she texted me, "The police can't stop me from loving you." I screenshotted it, filed it away, and carried on with my life. Weeks later, she found me again. At Home Depot, of all places. "Please don't walk away." "Just 5 minutes," she said. I turned, saw the exhaustion in her eyes. 5 minutes for what? To apologize. To explain. To ask for another chance. "You had 8 years of chances," I said. "You used them all up in a parking lot 3 years ago," she cried. Told me she'd been scared. That she regretted everything, I asked. "Which part? Calling me dead weight, or realizing that dead weight was actually keeping your life afloat?" She said she'd changed. "That people change," I nodded. "You're right. I changed too. I'm not the man you left. I rebuilt my life without you." She asked if I was seeing someone. "I'm engaged," I said. She froze. Tears streamed down her face. "This isn't how it was supposed to go," she whispered. "No," I said. "You were supposed to show up, apologize, and expect me to take you back. But life doesn't work that way." Before leaving, I told her, "Next time you find something valuable, don't throw it away just because you think you found something better." Then I drove off. Just like that first day, calm, final, complete. 2 weeks later, she tried again. Showed up at my work pretending there was a medical emergency. I walked into the lobby and handed her 2 envelopes. The first, a restraining order. The second, a wedding invitation. "My new life doesn't include you," I said. "My fiancé knows about you. She isn't threatened because she understands something you never did, that love is a choice made every single day." She cried harder, asking, "Will you ever forgive me?" "I already have," I said. That's how I was able to move on, and that was the last time I ever saw her. 6 months later, I married the woman who chose me, not because she needed me, but because she wanted me. Sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even. It's living so well that the people who discarded you realize they gave away something irreplaceable. She got what she asked for. I got what I deserved. We were both finally free. If you've made it this far, consider subscribing to our channel. It helps us immensely. I've selected 2 other stories I'm sure you'll enjoy. Click on them now, and I'll see you in the next on.